You're listening to the Nothing Podcast with Nobody Important, where a group of nobodies speak to an actual somebody. And now your hosts, John and Frank.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Frank.
I'm John.
And you are listening to the Nothing Podcast.
With Nobody Important.
John?
Yes?
My heart is full today.
Full of?
Food and thanks.
Here you go.
You know why?
Why?
You don't know?
I don't know. Tell me.
You know.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yes!
I'm so ready.
This
I'm
is it.
so excited.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is in 2 days, because it is definitely
2
Tuesday.
days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that is the date that it is
now.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought it would be really fun to bring on some food experts.
That's it. Because Thanksgiving's really all about food at this point.
Yes, yes. And so I reached out to my cousins, who were very happy to come down and do this with us. My cousin Bart is a chef. My cousin Mike
is an eater.
Loves food.
That's it.
And so they came down. They sat with us. We talked all things Thanksgiving. We talked about 4th of July, which is
catering halls.
Basically just everything food, what the culture in the kitchen is like, what our favorite Thanksgiving dishes are, and how to prepare them. There's a couple of recipes that find their way
Bart
into
shares
this.
some recipes that you could literally make at home.
Right, I was going to write them down while we were doing it, and then I realized I don't have to, because I could just listen to this.
We're recording it.
Yeah, right.
We also, we don't really talk about it ever in the episode, but you and I have prepared a huge feast here for our guests.
Yeah. We've roasted a lot of things, and we've presented them to everyone. Yeah, don't listen to hear them chewing or anything, because that just,
Right.
don't worry about that.
A lot of offerings.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a good time, and I think it's a good way to celebrate Thanksgiving.
I think so. So I guess it's time to, fold your napkins.
Steam your green beans.
And wheel Grandma into the dining room.
That's right, baby. Buckle those buckles on your hats. It's Thanksgiving.
That's it.
So please welcome this week's guest.
Bart Pelucco. I'm a chef here in New York City.
Bart, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to our humble show. We're happy to have you.
I would like to give thanks for you being here.
This is a time of giving thanks. So we'd like to thank Bart for being here, and we'd like to thank him for bringing Mike Pelucco here as well.
Yay!
Tom, please, with the applause. Tom loves to clap. So, Bart.
Yes.
You are a chef. You would qualify yourself as a chef.
That is correct.
So, go. I don't know.
So what do you want to tell us about
I have
that?
no
What qualifies me as a chef? So, I've been in this business for 35 plus years. Started off as a parking lot sweeper in a restaurant, first job.
Wow.
And got my introduction into that by cleaning parking lots and then saying to the boss, I don't want to do this anymore. How do I get inside? He says, put an apron on. So I started working in a pizzeria and stayed with that.
Easy. Just wear the outfit.
That's
all you have to do?
No, a lot of burns, a lot of
There
scrubbing
you
pots, a lot of arm burns, hand burns, cut fingers. But started doing that, and every job I've ever had has been food-based. I've never had a job until recently that was not food-based, although this current job is tied to food. I've worked in pizzerias, delis, fine dining, catering halls, fast food, ice cream trucks. I've run the gamut of different types of food operations.
Wow.
Had my own catering business for a period of time, did bartending. So I've covered just about every basis in food service.
If there's food, you've touched it.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty much.
John and I were talking earlier about that you did some catering and stuff, and a lot of things we were talking about was obviously chicken franchise.
Yeah, we were talking about
It's a big deal.
So one of the places that I know you worked, I was trying to describe to Frank what it was, and I was like, well, I know that he...
You're talking about Gennaro's.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Gennaro's?
The infamous Gennaro's.
Can we say that?
Yes,
I
you
guess.
can.
Are they still around, Gennaro's?
No,
No.
that's why I retired.
Yeah, right.
The old man decided
So-
to retire.
I was trying to describe it, and I was like, it's one of those places... A lot of communions happen
Oh, yeah,
there.
baby.
Probably a lot of chicken franchise gets made.
Gennaro's was the one with the mirrors. Everything's mirrors in the lobby with the people's pictures around. That's
No, it's not that one.
No,
This
that's
one is.
Sardi's in the city.
no. They have like the old wedding photos hanging in the lobby. That's not Gennaro's.
That's not Gennaro.
Across from Meze, what's that one?
No, across from Meze
What am I
here.
thinking
No,
of?
Gennaro's is Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Oh,
Wasn't Staten
I don't know
Island.
my catering holes.
Oh yeah, Meze. I know what you're talking
Okay.
No,
about.
Gennaro's was an 80-seat pizzeria on one side and a 80-seat family restaurant on the other side. He was there for 49 years. I was there for a better part of 30 years throughout my career.
Wow.
The last 26 straight. So it was a long time with him.
So you were there for a long time.
Yeah, I was
And
there
how
a
do you
long time.
how do you bounce back and forth from place to place? Is it like in any other job where you offer up a resume, or they taste something and go, "Ooh, I want to poach that guy"?
You know, it's funny. It happens both ways. I had offers working in the kitchen where customers would walk in and say, I'm opening a restaurant, so what does it take to get you to move and come work for me? It does happen. It doesn't happen a lot. Most of the time, it's like every other job. You're looking for something. Back in my day, you'd go in the newspaper and look. It was before all the social network.
Sure.
So you went in the newspaper, you circled jobs, you made phone calls, you went there, you
Bart,
handed in resumes.
What's a newspaper?
Exactly. A little bit generation gap there.
Right, pounding the pavement, as it were.
Pretty much.
Pounding the cutlets, baby.
That's cool. So, did you always love food, or like?
No. I love food.
Right.
I cook for
Now
them.
that you say it, Mike.
You know what it was? It's all I ever knew.
Okay.
I was always comfortable about it. I was around it. I knew it. I related to it well. It was easy for me. It just came very natural for me. It was not something I had to think about. It's probably one of the biggest arguments my wife and I have is when I come home from a stressed day and she's starting dinner, I kind of just like ease into the kitchen and she runs because she is not a fan of cooking.
Oh, but
She's a great-
you'll take it home with you. Like you'll cook at home.
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time. I don't do it as much as I used to. She does a lot of it now.
Right.
But on a bad day, I'll come home and I'll just start, whatever's out, start putting something together, and she'll say, "I hate you." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "You just came up with this. Where did you think of this?"
Right.
And it's, just from experience, it's in my head. Well, what's the recipe? I don't know. It's here. You
Right.
know what?
It's in the Rolodex.
So you just
somewhere.
kind of
You're a
put things
creative guy.
together.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, yes. When it comes to everything else, no.
Oh, food is.
Food is where I'm
almost
creative.
the ultimate creativity.
So,
gotta eat.
Right.
When Gennaro's closed, I ended up buying a pizza oven for my yard. So I have a 900-degree pizza oven. I went out and bought a dough machine.
Wow.
I purchased flour at 25 pounds a bag now because my children won't eat pizza from other places. So we make pizza just about every week.
So we've discovered why we had you on the show.
There you
We were
go.
trying to get an invite.
Well, there's no invite. It's always open. You just call up on Thursday and say, "Is tomorrow Pizza Friday?" And if the answer is yes, then it's an open
There you
invitation.
go. There you go.
So
Dough machine.
So now I have to ask the ultimate question that's hanging above us, Mike.
What?
Is he a good chef?
Oh, damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He makes, so there's some of the things that he makes that, honestly, when I go out and I go to a restaurant and I just shake my head saying, no, it's not his.
Wow.
It's not a Bart.
No, it's not Bart.
It's not a Bart special.
It's not Bart's, food.
That's crazy. So that's
Yeah. He
Yeah,
does
I
penny
probably-
vodka, Sorrentino, and he doesn't do it anymore. He spoiled me in the beginning years ago, and he used to make a chicken cordon bleu for me, and I got that a couple of times, and then it just stopped.
what happened to it? Where did the cordon bleu
we
go?
liked it so much.
See, we're learning. That's what we're doing here.
But it's funny because at the restaurant at Gennaro's, he worked. I think it was Wednesday nights, right? So everybody would not take their dinner break until they learned what he was making for dinner.
Oh,
sure.
Because he'd make anything. He'd make desserts. The apple crumble.
Apple crumble pizza.
He would just sit there.
Stop with
This is
And
the worst episode.
this
I'm
is-
so hungry. Talk about anything else.
So that's what it would be like. Or even worse, customers would come in and he's in the front at the counter where we're doing pizza, and the kitchen is in the back, and they'd come in and say, "Hey Bart, do you think you can make me this?"
And at that time, I was now up in the front of the business, and the chef, they had a new chef, because I was only working part-time at that point with them, and he'd get annoyed. Chefs are very temperamental.
Sure,
They're very,
sure.
very territorial, and they all think they know better than the next person. So when a customer says, "Could you make me this?" and you walk in the back, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, so-and-so wants me to make it. I know how to make it."
Yeah, and you're using his tools and stuff.
Yeah.
It's, they
But
get
were
very-
you that way? Were you territorial as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
you don't
And we're
discount
very
yourself
loud.
from that.
Chefs tend to be very loud.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole atmosphere of a kitchen. It's just crazy. It's loud. It's, right now, I tell people if you can find somebody from the restaurant business, no matter what field they're in now, if they had restaurant experience, they can do anything.
Right.
Because the stress of that load of people coming in one shot, it's 6 o'clock, it's nice and quiet. At 6:30, it's insane. By 8:30, it's complete insanity. People are running around, screaming, yelling. Nobody's happy in the kitchen because it's hot. Right. And the orders are flowing in, and then the waitress comes in and she made a mistake. Or the waiter comes in, somebody's not happy with their food. So now your whole groove of what you're doing stops. Because now you have to fix this one dish.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you have something on the fire, you have an appetizer coming out, and the other waiter's complaining because his table's crying. They didn't get their food yet. So it's a high-pressure situation. It doesn't matter if it's McDonald's, if it's Carvel, or if it's fine dining. Everybody has their crush time.
Right.
And if you can find people who can survive in that, they can survive anywhere.
Sure.
So if you're ever looking for people and they have restaurant background and they were
That's good.
successful at it, no matter what they did, then they're a good candidate.
Wow.
Well, my heart doctor never went to medical school, but he did work at Carvel.
I don't trust that too much.
I can't breathe.
Just be careful he doesn't give some sprinkles with that.
Get the sprinkles on there, right?
I don't know, but Fudgy the Whale would tell me to smack in the face. So Bart, listen, I have to confess, I'm obsessed with food. I don't want to say I'm a foodie because I think it's.
We're obsessed
tell
with
my
food.
metabolism.
Yeah, I don't
When you're a
understand.
lucky man.
He is obsessed.
I do. Okay, I'm obsessed with like restaurant culture, Anthony Bourdain, Kitchen Confidential, Food Network.
I don't watch them.
Okay, but wait. So a week ago, my wife and I went to eat at a place called Boqueria in the city in Times Square. There's a bunch of them. So they were packed, but we sat at the chef's counter, right?
Oh, well, we must have been busy, Danielle.
And it was for our anniversary. Sorry, you can't come to everything. So I'll be here tomorrow night. Don't worry, guys. So we were, you're basically in the kitchen, right? These guys, man, this was a show. They were rock stars. I was watching them. I could tell you how they make the mashed potatoes with the octopus on top and the fennel. They made it like 40 times in an hour. They were monsters. There was a girl in there and some dudes. I loved it. And I think if I didn't do what I was doing now, 100% I'd work in the kitchen. That would be my other job.
But it doesn't sound very pleasurable.
It's just something's awesome about it. It's like you're in the shit. You're in the weeds, man.
It's
And
not
they're just
glamorous. Most
right.
Of the
Oh,
time.
it's
right,
awesome.
right.
But
Because
I'll tell
when
you
you-
something. Like any art, and it is culinary. It's culinary arts for a reason. Watching him cook is just amazing. Especially when he was doing the catering, because I'd go down and help him. I can't do much of anything. I'm like, step and fetch it, kid.
Right.
Fry the cutlets, roll the eggplant rollatini. That's the gist of my experience.
More than I can do. Right.
But he's on the stove and he's got 6 burners going. He's got this sauce in this one. He's got this sauce in this one. He's got another sauce over here. I'm like, wow. Sit there and just watch. It's creating from it's food. Hey, I bought all the ingredients, but I can't make that.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can do it. It's really fun. It's really fun to watch.
Well, that doesn't.
But I find that with any artist.
You have to have the Nothing Podcast crew over. You'll have to cook for us, Matt and Joe.
We'll have to do a remote location.
Yeah.
There you go.
You have to do it in the summer though,
Yeah.
because then the bar's open with the pizzeria in the backyard.
That's what you want.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
So
That's
there's
what you want.
cocktails and pizza.
Right.
I will bring the alcohol.
Yeah. And drink the alcohol.
Did we mention that this was our Thanksgiving show?
We haven't. No.
Oh,
So Thanksgiving.
it's
is,
only a half hour in.
Thanks, Tom.
Happy
Thanks, Tom.
Thanksgiving, folks.
So Thanksgiving is on Thursday,
Yeah.
and
Today's
Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
This feels like Tuesday.
It feels like a Tuesday. So Thanksgiving is on Thursday.
Yeah.
And so that's why we thought we wanted to just get everybody hungry, get some of those glands working up to get ready for the big day.
Yeah. The glands.
The glands. You know,
Do you ever think you'd have a podcast and tell the people about their glands?
what
happened to us?
I did. As a child, I always thought, man, I love glands.
So so because it's Thanksgiving, this is a question I have for you, Bart, here. So it's a two-parter. One, is brining a turkey necessary? And two, just to be clear, nobody really likes turkey, right?
We're jumping
so it's a
right
two-parter.
into Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I
stuff.
want-
Right into the
mean,
turkey.
Okay.
You have to brine it, and also you don't really like it, right?
In all the years I've cooked turkey, I've never brined a turkey.
Oh.
Wow.
Never brined a turkey.
So that says you
never
don't have
had If you're gonna fry it, from what I understand, that's the big thing. You have to brine it, but then you have to make sure it's dry.
Or else it'll explode.
I found probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the best way to cook a turkey is with an oven bag. It's that simple.
So it keeps.
It's just that simple.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go crazy with it. I'm not a big fan of over seasoning it. Some people want to stuff them with oranges and all different things. I take an oven bag. I put celery, onions, carrots in the bottom. I oil up the turkey. I season it up with salt, pepper, garlic. I get under the skin with it, put it in the bag, and seal it up and put it in the oven. It's self-bastes.
Let's let Bart say this again and maybe play some seductive beats.
No.
I rub oil all up on that bird. I get under that skin.
Now it sounds like a poultry masseuse parlor.
There you go. Right? No,
Mike's drooling over here.
you got. The thing is,
Sounded amazing.
I think a lot of it is the confidence. It's the confidence to be willing to get in there and do it. Because I'm just recently learning that I love to cook, sort of. I'm in the level right now where I love the concept of cooking. I haven't actually gotten into it yet. I'm making a ham tomorrow. We're going to get into that. I'm going to ask you some advice on the ham. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of knives. I'm afraid of fire. How can I possibly be confident in making something?
So the worst thing that happens with a knife is you get cut.
Sure,
right?
I don't like that.
All right, so you get stitches. It heals.
I
Chicks
guess.
dig scars.
Right, I guess.
Truth.
Yeah, Danielle? You want a little butter knife scar on your man?
I'll cut for you. We've discussed this.
Tom, enough. Yeah, and then but fire too.
Part of the fear with cooking is people are afraid to make mistakes. The secret to cooking is make it taste good yourself.
Right.
Or what you like.
Yeah.
And that's probably the hardest part of being a chef, is you're not cooking for yourself. Now, I have a seafood allergy. So could you imagine trying to cook shrimp, lobster?
How'd you do it?
Practice.
But you do make seafood.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But you can't taste it to know if
Can't taste it or touch it.
You
So I have
can't
to wear
touch
gloves.
it. Oh, this is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has it, so he knows a bartender.
And as
doesn't
things
drink
are
it all.
going on, I can't eat scallops anymore. I can't eat galamata anymore. I can't eat octopus anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where anything with iodine is just bad for me now. So.
Oh.
But I can.
Yeah, you're right.
And he eats it.
Mike's like, just letting everybody out there know, I am open to taking the seafood.
Wow. Bart, what's the, maybe this is going to make John not want to cook though, but what's the worst kitchen injury you've ever seen on anybody?
The worst injury I ever saw, I was working in a coffee shop, and we had two locations. One was by the Staten Island Ferry, one was up by St. Vincent's Hospital. And I got a call from my boss, and he says, you need to close the store right away and get up here to the hospital. I said, what's up? He said, Teddy got cut. I said, all right. He said, no, close the store and get here. So I got to the store, and there was blood on the ceiling. There was blood on the walls.
No.
It looked like a massacre. He was cleaning the slicing machine, and his fingers got pulled into it.
No!
And he didn't lose his fingers, but it cut 4 of the 5 fingers across the back of his hand. And that's probably the worst one I've seen, actually seen. Where I mean, it was down to the bone, type of real gory type of thing.
Yeah.
That and burns. I've seen people
Burns.
get hot oil poured on their feet, and it goes melts your shoe. I've burned my hand plenty of times, cut myself, never to the extreme where I've that kind of damage. I mean, a couple of fingertips lost and stuff, but nothing. But you get used to it. It's
because, like
scary.
I said before, there's fire.
But you get used to it. The joke in my house is, here, take this. Wait, Dad, it's hot. No, it's not. Well, you have fingers of asbestos. You don't feel it. You do lose a lot of sensation. They're not as durable as they used to be.
Right.
But you definitely lose a lot of that sensitivity, so you don't feel it as much.
That's
so if
so
I were to
interesting.
grab a hot frying pan and you were to grab a hot frying pan, I'm feeling heat. You're probably getting a 1st-degree burn.
Wow.
So
That's cool. It's
But
bionic.
it changes.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
gets,
That's
my
crazy.
superpower.
But you can't be, if you're scared while you're doing it, you're going to screw up.
That's
Because
me.
when
Without
you
a doubt.
cook, look, we all
That
do
is
some
me.
sort of artistic thing.
Don't anticipate
draw,
ham
paint,
tomorrow.
whatever you do. But you get into the zone. We all know about the zone. You're not really thinking. It's all instinctive. You feel it out. You know what's in your hand. You know what it looks like in the pan, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But you're in the zone, and then you get cut, and then you pop out of the zone for a second, I guess, and you cut your fingers off on the deli slices.
Well,
See, I don't get in the zone. I know I'm cutting, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah. I cut a carrot, like, oh, one cut. I'm like, oh good.
But if you cut yourself to that extent, or you need stitches, then usually you're stopping. But if you just kind of
Right.
slice your hand open like you slice your finger open, it's grab the electrical tape. You know, you put some paper towel on it, you tape it up with electrical tape, and you get back on the line and keep cooking.
No, see, my thing is that blood should be on the inside of the body. So if blood is at any point on the outside of the body, something's wrong. It needs to be fixed.
Well, you're gonna have a problem cooking them because there's always blood. You know, you got your veal chops, you got your lamb chops.
I could deal with other people's blood. Wait, or animal blood.
What are you cooking?
Who are you cooking?
Right. Now, a lot of cooking is trial and error.
Without a doubt.
So you've eaten a lot of real bad stuff.
Without a doubt.
Really? I wasn't sure whether or not you were going to agree with that.
No, without a doubt.
Wow.
Sometimes things, even after 35 years of cooking, I'll make dinner sometimes, and my son will be like, "Yeah, it's not what it's good, Dad." But then there's days you make it, and you just hit it on all cylinders, and it comes out perfect.
Wow.
Or you throw it away and you start all over.
See, that's the thing. When you're buying the ingredients, this is going to be an ongoing. The name of this episode is going to be The Story of the Ham. So I bought.
I thought it was Thanksgiving.
Right, I know.
The ham's already cooked.
Hey, but I bought all this stuff for the ham. I spent $75 today just on the stuff around the ham.
What did you buy?
We'll get into it.
You buy a bathrobe.
But if it goes wrong, that's $75 down the tubes. Somebody's eating that ham. I don't care how bad it is.
You just gotta heat it.
No, it's not that. Go on. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying
He's
anything.
literally mad at Mike.
I'm not mad at Mike. I'm saying
What kind of ham is it?
I need help.
What kind of ham you bought?
Okay. All right. Let's back it up. I bought a ham.
Do you want to introduce the ham?
Let's bring in the ham. No,
Here he
I
is.
don't know what the ham. I actually don't know what it is. Danielle, can you actually go get the ham?
Are you serious right now?
Go see what what kind
Danielle,
of ham
go
it
get
is.
the ham.
I'm assuming it's a spiral ham.
No, it's a certain cut of the ham.
What?
Is it a shank?
It's a shank.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
it's probably not. Is it a shank?
Yeah, it's the
Is
big.
it a smoked ham or is it like a pork?
It's a
pork
smoked.
butt?
It's a smoked ham.
Okay, so it's a smoked ham.
So what?
So you really can't screw it up.
So I saw a recipe today that I'm trying to follow. Okay. Now I follow this guy who I really like the stuff he posts on YouTube, but everything he does is about smoking. So I don't have I've never smoked.
I hate smoke.
Do you?
I can't eat it.
So I've never done it before. I don't know. I have a grill, but an electric grill, and I love to grill. I want to get into trying to do smoking stuff because I think it's just a really interesting, cool, different type of flavor. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this recipe that came from it's a double smoked ham recipe, and I'm taking it and transferring it into a gas oven. I don't know if it's going to work the same way.
It's not.
But no, it's already smoked though. So the double smoked,
so
the double smoked part of it it's not going to be double. It's going to be single
So you
smoked.
bought a smoked ham.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so what
They want you to smoke it like with wood chips and you cover it, like smoke it.
in a smoker, yeah.
But you could do that in your house, but it'd just sound like a fire. It'd be like
Right,
a fire.
right,
in here.
right.
It'll smell a lot.
No, so what I bought, what I got, it's an apple and apricot glaze for the ham.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take apples, apple slices, and half the apricot. What are you laughing at?
Are you gonna be scared to do it?
Yes.
He just puts whole apples on the ham.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
This is the song. Hold on, can I say something in the distance, not on mic?
Yeah.
This is
Can you get near the mic?
yes.
The sound
This
guy.
is the song that John that's gonna be playing in the background as he cuts an
Can
apple.
we play this?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh no, the apple!
And then I cut my hand, and it stops. And I go lay in the bed.
Well, you know what? If you're afraid of getting cut, buy the Kevlar gloves. Buy kitchen gloves.
Can I do that?
Wear
by
chainmail while
tomorrow?
you're doing it.
That's what they like.
Yeah.
Like chainmail.
So I'm not gonna. I do need it. So listen, it's an apple and apricot ham thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take sliced apples, half the apricots, put them at the bottom of the tray, put the ham on the tray, and then he put like a half a cup apple juice or whatever, which I'm gonna do also. Even though I think that is part of the smoking thing, but whatever, I'll do it anyway. Then I just put it in the oven until a certain amount of time, and then I make the glaze, which is like brown sugar, apple butter,
Citrus something?
apricot, apple cider vinegar, or whatever it is.
Nice.
And I'm going to make a reduction out of that, and then I'm going to glaze the ham and leave it in for like 20 minutes or something so it doesn't burn.
That sounds complicated.
And that's it.
Sounds great.
And that's it. Sounds like it'll come out all right.
Yeah.
Now, when I do it, you're going to see how it doesn't come out all right.
No, it's going to come out
I
fine.
don't
They're going
think
to
you
give you
can
the trick
mess this
to
up.
it.
Okay, what's the trick?
First of all, cover it when
Okay.
you're heating it so you don't dry it out.
All right.
So get parchment paper. You have to have parchment paper because when you put the aluminum foil on it, whatever's on there, the acidic properties of the glaze or the whatever, will eat through the aluminum foil. So put a piece of parchment paper over it.
Okay, we have that right.
Put the aluminum foil over that and seal it. So it's warming without drying out. Then when you're ready to glaze it, uncover it and glaze it, and then it won't dry out. And you'll be fine.
Get a nice little crust.
It'll be good. Get a nice crust on there, even though I'm not smoking it.
It's fine.
I have one question. I'm coming to this event tomorrow.
Yes.
I want a picture of it.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
picture
Yeah,
now.
now we have to. Now the ham.
Do you need me to cut the ham?
No, Danielle's gonna cut the ham.
Okay.
Is she afraid of knives?
No,
Oh, okay.
she's cuts the ham before. I don't know why you're looking at me like you never cut a ham before.
No, I've cut it. I'm gonna make Frank do it tomorrow.
There we go.
Well, and we also have because we're doing it's not tomorrow, guys.
No,
This
it's
was-
for Thanksgiving.
Right,
week.
I made the ham last Friday. So you guys tell me if it was good or not.
You made
Yeah. But
Today's Tuesday.
that's right.
It's the day.
Right.
6 o'clock in the
6 o'clock in the morning. I forgot.
You're right.
No, so it's yeah, I think it's gonna come out all right, and we have a turkey just in case.
It sounds great. I'm really excited to eat it. I mean it.
Yeah.
The fruit will get nice and mushy at the bottom. It'll caramelize. Right?
Yeah, it'll be great.
nice. Not going to caramelize. In
Why are we talking about
20
this?
minutes.
So, what was the first thing that you can remember saying, "Wow, I cooked this. This is my specialty"? Because I can imagine for a while you had just a specialty until you branched out.
I had a couple of dishes that were like my go-to dishes. My penne vodka, and I'm not bragging, is different than anybody else's. People will make it the same way, maybe have the same ingredients, but that's probably the one dish I get the most compliments, and I think it's boring.
It's really good.
When you make a penne vodka, I don't know if you're gonna.
I'll tell you. I don't care. I'll
Okay,
share. I'm
this
not
is
that
what
type.
I think it is. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. And
Okay.
you tell me why I'm wrong. I think penne vodka is like a tomato paste business going on.
No.
And then you add the vodka to it.
No.
No. Okay.
Not
All right,
at
go
all.
ahead.
That's wrong. Stop
All
speaking.
right,
Never
now
speak
we're
again.
So basically, if you want to talk about the simplest way to describe it, it's like an Alfredo sauce
Yeah.
with some tomato sauce in it, and then amped up with all your other ingredients. So the way I do it,
Yeah.
which
Tell us.
is really simple, and when I tell you how simple it is, you're going to say, wow, this is all it takes to make vodka sauce. Then you're going to make it, and you're never going to order it in a restaurant again.
Let's go. I mean, I'm so
Ready?
into this. Yeah.
So you start off with onions, chopped super fine, okay?
All right,
And
John,
again,
you're out.
everything
You
is
can't make this.
everything.
Can't do it.
No, get a food processor if you don't
There
want
you
to cut
go.
it with a
Okay.
knife. But everything is to your taste. So if you like the flavor of onions, put more onions.
Right.
So onions, garlic, fresh tomatoes. When I say fresh tomatoes, I mean like plum tomatoes or beefsteak tomatoes, diced up.
Yep.
Actually, like a bowl full of them. All right. I start off with the onions. I add my garlic. Then I add my tomatoes to that. My whole tomatoes all chopped up. My
How you
fresh
cutting the
tomatoes.
garlic? Slivers, or are you doing little smalls?
No, I do everything really fine for this, so it kind of blends in. I don't try to leave anything really chunky, except for the tomatoes. After I do the onions and then the garlic, I add the tomatoes. Everything's in olive oil, salt and pepper at that point. Don't salt and pepper the onions or the garlic. The salt draws all the moisture out of the tomatoes.
Sure.
Now you have this liquid going, it's simmering. Then I hit it with the vodka. It's about a quarter of a cup of vodka, just a splash.
Right.
If the flame's hot enough, it'll flame up. If not, it doesn't. It's really more for show, the flame. Then I add diced prosciutto or pancetta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Let that cook in. Now, I let that cook for about 20 minutes. Just that, simmering away.
The fat melts out a little bit.
But pancetta and prosciutto really don't have a lot of fat in it.
Okay.
Right. But-
And that's all, you can cube it or slice it or dice it, whatever way you want. That's your choice. Let that cook for about 20 minutes. You'll see all this liquid forming. My mouth was watering.
Yeah, right.
This
I'm
is
like,
terrible.
Then I add the heavy cream to it. And with the heavy, it's like a quarter heavy cream, and it's about 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Now, it could be flavored tomato sauce. It could be sauce that you had in the freezer, sauce you had left over. I'm not going to say jarred sauce because I don't use jarred sauce for this. But if you're if you're in a pinch, you can use it.
Would you like a can like Cento or like Del Monte, or is that like? Taboo?
I use all different types of plum tomatoes to make my tomato sauce, but I'll use canned tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Canned tomatoes to make sauce, but not jarred sauce to cook with. I let that cook and simmer down. Then I add sliced mushrooms and peas. I let that simmer for a little while, and then I don't add the cheese until it's done. And what I do is I put the sauce with the pasta, and then I put a good handful of whatever you like, pecorino romano, you like parmesan, whatever you like. Put a good healthy handful or two of that into the bowl. Just mix it up and serve it like that.
Oh, Jesus.
And it takes, you probably got to let it cook. I let mine cook a good 45 minutes, very slow. And you let those flavors kind of blend together.
Right.
And before you know it, like the mushrooms are falling apart. The peas have no body left really. But all those flavors get together. And Yeah, you're good to go.
We're gonna do it.
This is the best episode we ever made.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
We're gonna do it. So now we've talked a lot about a lot of Italian food. Now we should address that it's because
There's anything else?
right. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. We are family. We're not hiding that on this show, and we come from an Italian family. Now, you guys came from a home with the, real Italian mom cooking real Italian dishes.
And the Italian grandma.
And right. That whole generation of our family was, and they're still around cooking those Italian dishes.
Yes, they are.
Do you guys get offended when you see people on Facebook sharing these YouTube videos of like the old Italian grandpa showing his cooking recipe? And I'm like, yeah, but we have that at home. Like, I don't need that. I see that as such a trend that's being passed around of like, look at this old grandpa. Wow, he reminds me of the old country. But really, come on. Like,
I don't know if I get offended. I mean, sometimes you see things that people are making and you get a different take on the recipe, the way you make it.
Right.
Everybody thinks theirs is the best.
Right, sure.
It's what you like. So you're used to a certain way. Your mom's sauce, you're used to her making it the way she makes it.
I'm not used to my mom's anything.
And okay, bad example. Okay, wait. Your Aunt Mary's sauce.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you're used to that, and to you that was the best.
Right.
Somebody else may taste it and say, yeah, it's good, but, my Aunt Jean's sauce is better, or my Aunt Joe's sauce is better, or my mother. So it's really what you like and what you're used to. It's nice when you can taste something and, everybody agrees it's good, but everybody's going to have their favorite. So it's not about what's better or worse, it's what you prefer. Okay. And that's the secret to cooking. You make it the way you like it, it's always going to taste good.
Yeah,
there you go.
Everybody's biased.
Right. Now, our family also, I know, some of the staples that come from our, your parents' generation or my grandparents' generation was a lot of specifically Sicilian dishes that you can't really find a lot of places. Now, I have been tasked, I don't know why, I don't know how, with being the person to replicate these dishes.
Good luck.
I don't. Yeah.
You?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know
You don't
why.
even like the
We're the rice balls
me.
now, right?
Yeah,
My family.
Ask Aunt Jean and Aunt Joe.
So there you go. That's
That's the best advice
answer,
I got.
That's the answer that I'm always given since Aunt Mary passed, and even before that. She used to make these rice bowls that were like a staple at our Christmas and Thanksgiving. Nobody's even tried. The recipe went with her. So then nobody really
Check with Aunt Jean.
Right.
And
So
Aunt Jo. That's your
we've
closest
started
you're gonna
making
get.
them, and we've gotten somewhere. Not quite the same.
What are you missing?
I don't know. The rice bowls are fine-ish. Now what I'm tasked to learn to make is the carduna.
Carduna.
That's what I've been...
That's easy.
I have to... I've been meaning...
I'm dying
Yes.
to know how to make
That
that.
is probably one of the... Can you fry chicken cutlets?
Oh, yeah.
Then you can make carduna.
That's
It's
what
that
I
simple.
want
I just want to try it.
So let's just for our audience out there who are not very specifically Sicilian, can we discuss just what the carduna is?
It's the stalk of the artichoke.
Is it now? I read earlier that it's not actually an artichoke; it's like a relative of an artichoke.
Well, it's a stalk. It looks more like a giant celery stalk.
Okay.
Is what it looks like. And basically, what you do is you cut it and you peel the strings off it the same way you do with the celery stalk, and then you boil it or steam it to soften it. Then you cool it, and then you bread it like a chicken cutlet and
I have
fry
to just
it.
find where I can get it.
Three Guys up on 65th
Three
Street.
Guys, they have it at Three
Oh
Guys?
my God, I'm sure they do. I'd be surprised if they don't.
I've been tasked to make it for Christmas this year.
It's
So
if you can cut
Right.
with a knife,
I'm out.
so you're
whole
out.
fried
Maybe
one.
Danielle can do
Whole
it.
I got
fried
it.
stalk.
And you basically take it. You cut the bottom end off like a celery. You cut the top stem off, and then you cut it in workable pieces. 6 inches long, whatever you want, and you parboil them till you soften them. Then you take them out, spread them out on paper towel, dry them, let them cool, and then just flour, egg, bread, season your breadcrumb the way you want, and then get the old cast iron frying pan out and fry them up and drain them on paper towels.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Tom, me and you, the only two people in the room not related to the other four people in the room. What the fuck are they talking about?
A lot of people say that.
Right.
It's just an old family recipe. It's something we grew up on seeing. It's like when people don't know what it is, you're like,
Right. To me, it was like a staple. And then I found out it was like a very Sicilian thing. Then I found out that even past that, there's like no
Yeah.
place that had that even.
But I'm sure Three Guys has.
Yeah.
I would definitely check there. Is Circus still there? That place?
Yeah.
on Hamilton?
Yeah.
Circus. Yeah.
I would check them too. I
I'll
mean,
have
that's
to-
the only 2 places in Brooklyn that I know in this area. But it's got to be there.
I'll have to search around.
It's got to
so
be
excited.
there.
I've never-
Especially this time of year.
I never even heard about it before. I mean, marrying John.
Yeah.
Really
And you
weird.
married her?
I know. Tom.
She's got a lot of other great qualities, I'm sure. So
Yeah, right. She didn't know about
Well, let us
that.
I'm
don't
just
know
like
if I'm
a
doing
huge artichoke fan. Me and Marianne.
Yeah.
Just changing gears for a quick sec. So I have 2 questions to ask. Do you cook with music going, and what is your choice of music? Do you find the music to make the dish taste better? Like, is there a difference with whether you have it
Does
on
the
or
music
not?
make the dish taste better?
What is he, a
Yeah,
plant?
like, you're into it more. I don't know. Shut up.
I play music to drown everybody out. That's about it.
Okay.
Legit.
Okay. So that
Wait, wasn't there a
was
second
it?
question?
I did. It was. Have you ever cried over a dish because it was so good?
I usually cry when I cut my finger.
Yeah.
See, he
It's
was
the
right.
treacherous knives is the thing that I'm.
Yeah, but dull knives are worse than
bag into the fryer. You have to touch it.
Okay, so guys, so Mikey, we want you to play this too. So,
Oh, yeah.
every episode we do what's called a rating game, where we kind of throw things at you and you rate them on any sort of metric you want to rate them in. You can say you like it, you hate it, you give it a 5. It doesn't matter. We don't really care what your answer is. Okay, so we didn't come up with a list like we usually do, but
we care about the answer, but
no,
how you rate
how
it.
you rate it, we don't really care. So I think, and this is again, we're on the by the seat of our pants right
Yeah,
now.
uh-huh.
Can we do? Let's rate catering hall food items.
Okay.
Okay, we've all been
We're
to
gonna-
enough.
So
we
we're
know.
going to give you some things that you're typically found in a catering hall.
Or how about just anything in the catering hall?
No.
Yeah.
I like. Well.
Just anything in the catering hall. Let's do anything in the catering hall. Is it okay?
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to start
Okay.
with my favorite, very squeaky string beans. I don't know what's the deal.
So it cleans my teeth.
Yeah. Are they supposed to be that way?
So if you overcook a string bean, they're mushy.
Okay.
So most people don't like mushy vegetables, so they blanch them, and they have these big trays or buckets of blanched off string beans.
Yeah.
And then right before they serve them, they're either dipping them in a steam bath in a bucket of a pot of hot boiling water, or sautéing them or roasting them off. So they're not going to overcook them. So what happens with string beans when you don't cook them too much? They're squeaky.
They get squeaky.
Okay.
Do you
Mike?
like squeaky string beans, Mike?
No.
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 Do you like any string beans?
Yeah.
Okay. So the
Thanksgiving
Simple and
string bean
straight.
casserole.
I don't eat that.
string bean casserole.
Yes, it's so good.
Never had
Really?
it.
No.
On the back of the Campbell's soup.
It is
the-
on the
with
back
the-
of the Campbell's soup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the French's onions.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
to make
Oh,
that.
so what? Do you like it? What's your
I
rating?
do like it. It's like a 10.
You the squeakies?
No,
the
the
French
casserole.
onion, the French's
Oh,
onion,
French onion casserole coming into this thing.
So what do you
Okay.
got,
I like
Frank?
string beans.
Okay.
What do I got? Catering hall things. The bathroom attendant. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are
What are you
Handing
doing?
you a
I don't want you to
towel
hear me.
and getting money from you.
So
but
what
I
do you
don't
think
give
of
him
him?
money, so he can just hand me a towel. I don't know. We don't think. Do we think they're necessary?
How do you rate him?
I like them.
I like it. It makes me feel like I'm somewhere nice.
Yeah, it's
It's
nice.
a throwback thing, you know.
Yeah,
It's just feels like, oh, it's nice.
it does feel nice.
You
Even
know?
though the TGI Fridays in Sheepshead Bay has one.
Right.
Well, he's there to make sure he doesn't break a
carrying
door
it
off or
Right,
something.
right.
I don't want to be carrying it too far to TGI Fridays, but
Elegante. Okay.
I'm gonna say a nice piece of bland salmon,
I was gonna say
regular
that's
salmon.
crazy. Okay.
Don't eat it.
Right, you don't write.
I'm not a fish person.
Do you like
Right.
salmon, Mike?
um,
From a catering hall, like regular salmon. That's
I won't.
nothing
I don't
special.
order fish.
No, you wouldn't order fish.
No, I'm
It's a
very,
safe bet.
Yeah. I know people who do, and they tend to say, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah, I mean, very rarely do people go to a catering hall and go, "Wow, that was great."
That was a
Yeah.
great piece of salmon.
Right? Yeah, it was wow, it was the best salmon I ever had.
Yeah. It's always dry. Okay.
got one?
Yeah, I got one. They play Frank Sinatra while you're eating.
That's a staple.
Always, every
I'm
time.
just used to it, I guess.
But is it racist?
Well, every time I hear summer wind, I salivate because I think this is a Pavlovian result. The summer wind. I fuck those green beans.
This one is so
comes
wind
the
plays.
pasta.
I know
Sinatra.
I'm getting the
He's been
pasta
through enough,
quiz.
this guy.
I told you, music helps food taste.
It does.
That's true.
All right. So, what do you think? Do you like when they have Sinatra while you're eating?
I like Sinatra.
So,
I
yes.
like Sinatra.
Yeah.
What do you think these two were going to
I
say?
mean, you're in a catering hall. They play music in the background. Everybody's eating.
It's better than the
all-
Macarena.
All you're gonna
Yeah,
hear is
right.
forks and
That's
knives
right.
on a plate.
Yeah.
So drown it out with Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. You know what bothers me about a catering hall? When in order to this is more of an architectural thing. I can save this for the architecture episode. When in order to get to the ballroom, you have to pass by the offices where people are booking other parties. That I can't abide by that. You got to put that office downstairs. You got to hit the 1C button on the elevator to get there.
There's a reason to it.
What is the reason? So
they want the customers to see what's going on,
that they're working.
What's going on behind the scenes. They want to see people coming in and out. They want to see the waiter walking by with this tray full of hors d'oeuvres that he's bringing into the room.
Right.
It's a sales pitch.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm gonna say the little hard butter flowers that are on the table.
They need to soften them. That's a 0. They need to soften them.
How can they soften them?
Leave them out longer.
I thought there was a trick.
But the hard butter goes with the
trick.
What they do instead is it seems they leave the rolls out too long.
But they're too hard. The rolls need to be soft.
The rolls are all stale. All right. What about?
That's because the guy setting up the tables put those out at 2 for your 7 o'clock party.
Right.
Just to get done.
Absolutely.
Because they want to go have a break.
Now I want to go out on the record here and say none of these things were present at my wedding.
No.
Just saying.
No.
And they weren't present at Frank's wedding because Frank's wedding was in the same place as our wedding.
Okay, moving on. Wait, mine was first.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Okay. My wedding was where yours was.
You were the reason we had a wedding.
I don't own the place.
And I tell you, I was doing recon at your wedding.
Yeah?
Because my friends at work are getting married at the same place you got married next year. And when I was talking about going to your wedding, his girlfriend, who also works with, was like, "Oh, that's where we're getting married. You need to report to me." So as a goof, I was sending bad texts. And my friend knew I was sending these. And I'm sending him texts saying, "Dude, you better rethink this. It's really bad." Yeah, I was. Oh, and she was panicking next to him. So then Monday morning when I got to work, she was in a sweat, and I went and I told her that we were goofing around, and she was much relieved to know it was a great party.
That it was a good party, yeah. Right. Well, I'm relieved to know it was a good party too. Yeah,
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The commercial for Grand Prospect Hall.
I don't know that one.
I've been there.
Yes, you do. I've been there too.
I've
It's
been
a little
there.
old couple, isn't it? And they're like,
Yes.
at a Grand Prospect Hall, and who's seeing it going, that's it? You know what? I happen to be thinking about it. We're going.
It so
I
much.
haven't been there in 20
Come to the
years.
Grand Prospect Hall. It's like that.
So funny.
And then also Riviera, one wedding at a time. Remember that place?
Yes.
They had a commercial.
Still there?
Yeah,
I don't know if
Riviera's
it's
still there.
So listen, this is a true story. No offense to the
Yeah,
Riviera.
you're getting
people.
married there?
Get married there.
That's
Oh
right.
my
There you
God!
go. So
Wait
we
a
better
minute.
still
Okay.
be there.
Tom, I got a bone to pick with this place. So they had a commercial, terrible shot on a camcorder, like all those things, right? And at the end, they show a still of the place, and they put the title card over it, right? I swear to God, they used Microsoft Paint, the airbrush tool, and they airbrushed green on the tree. I swear to, I'll never forget this. One color tree. It was a one-color tree. It was Riviera. Look up this commercial on YouTube if it's there. Look at the tree at the end, and you're getting married there. That's ridiculous.
But don't worry, there's only one wedding at a time.
One
Only
wedding at a
one wedding
time
at a
and
time.
one dead tree.
I want to see this so
We gotta look it up. See if we can find it.
But now when you go to his wedding, you got to take a picture in front of the tree.
Oh my
Right,
God, I'm
right.
sorry.
I'm glad we brought up that your wedding is at the Riviera because I definitely was going to go to, what's the one that we have the party at?
Oh, El Carib?
Yeah, I would have showed up at the El Carib. I definitely would have shown up at the El Carib.
Love the El Carib.
Like 15 miles apart.
Right.
Oh, is that it?
You dreamed about it. It's been carefully planned.
What is this?
And here is the most important day of your life.
Oh my God. This gotta be Royal Grand Prospect Hall, is it? Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
I remember the music.
Play it out. Incidentally, I went there and the paint was chipping. There it is.
Grand Prospect Hall, 718-788-0777.
This sounds like they dug him up.
Are they still there?
Those people?
No, those people can't
They
be
haven't
still
been on this planet for 15 years. We make your dreams come true. You do? You do? You know my dreams?
That's funny. So is that you're settled on your rating game?
I just want to know this. The girls with the Sweet 16's enough. Tell them to stop, these girls.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I have no
I get
idea.
it. It's like a competition. Who has the biggest party? They got the
great
cutout
marketing,
letters.
though.
It's ridiculous.
It's great money.
It is.
Ridiculous.
Well, so we joked before. What about we love chicken franchise, right?
We do.
Gotta be. It's at all these parties.
Love it. It's
Communion to baptism
It's
to
cheap.
non-religious events.
But if you're receiving the Lord in any way,
You're gonna get
bet your ass this chicken.
You're gonna get the chicken franchise.
Chicken franchise an hour later.
How do you make that? That's a question I have. It's my favorite thing.
Nice
wife just made
segue.
it this
I
week.
just, we
It's
just
a nice
made that.
segue.
Actually, my son and my
No.
daughter love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
And my wife started making it, and she made it the other night, and she did a great job on it. So I'm hoping that means I don't have to make it anymore.
There you go.
So
Danielle,
how
I've asked Danielle to learn how to make chicken franchise for years
it's,
now.
It's really easy. I mean, I can give you like the short, simple version that they use in like every restaurant probably, or you can have the traditional.
Wow.
The one you're getting in the restaurant, if that's the one you like, unless you go to a real authentic, like they're cooking and sending it right out, because all chicken franchise is white wine and butter. That's really all it's supposed to be. And the lemon, of course.
Okay.
But I'm saying the main part.
Oh, yeah,
Most
yeah.
restaurants make a sauce out of it now, but the real way to make it is you flour your chicken, and then you dip it in your egg, and you pan fry that in a little bit of olive oil. We used to use clarified butter back in the day, but butter's like $4 a pound now, so nobody's going to waste it. So they're using vegetable oil. Yeah. So and you're not deep frying it. You're putting just enough to coat the bottom of the pan and browning it. Then you kind of take that out. Now in a restaurant, you would leave it in the pan, and we had what we called a skid bucket, which is just a pot on the side that you would dump your extra grease in from.
Right.
You dump that out, and you would throw a tab of butter in it, just a sprinkle of flour, and then you would hit it with the white wine and the lemon juice and let that all simmer together. Finish it with fresh parsley and send it out.
Done.
So that's the easy way of doing it. That's like the traditional way of doing it from an authentic way.
Now, the
Most
hard way
restaurants
is
now,
you grab the chicken by the neck,
yeah.
Make sure you
Swing
pluck
it
all
into
the
the camera.
feathers.
Right.
pluck all the feathers.
the way we make it in restaurants, or a lot of restaurants make it now, is they'll do the chicken the same way. They'll flour it, egg it, and pan fry it off. But then they usually have like the franchise sauce either made, or they'll start off with the same tab of butter, a little bit of flour, the white wine, the lemon juice, and they'll add a little bit of chicken stock or chicken broth to it, because you want more sauce, because a lot of places will serve it over pasta. So in a catering hall where you're serving 150 people like this, or sending out trays of it, they're not doing it with just butter and white wine, because it would separate sitting in the steam table.
Right.
So they do it the other way. So the simple way to do it is the way I do it at home. I start off with the butter in the pot. I add the flour to that, and I cook that down, make a roux. So you cook that until it gets like crumbly and a little bit almost golden brown, not too dark. If it gets too dark, it's just going to make your sauce darker, but it's not a big deal.
That's your butter browning?
That's the butter and the flour
That's the
cooking.
flour cooking.
So you let it cook for about a good 7-8 minutes on a low flame to cook that flour taste out of it. Then I add my white wine, and I kind of just blend that, and it'll get really pasty, and you're going to say, oh my God, I screwed this up. You didn't screw it up. It's going to look like a glue almost. Then I add chicken stock. But what I do is I preheat the chicken stock, so I'm adding hot liquid to it, and you just keep whisking it. Now, if it comes out a little lumpy, you know the immersion blenders? Do you have one? The stick blenders? You ever see one?
Yes, we have
That's a
one.
great tool. You put that in, and it knocks all the flour and kind of whips it and blends it. Then all I do is add lemon juice to taste. So it's still the same basic thing, but you're stretching it out with the chicken stock to give you more sauce. That's simple.
Boy, I'm so
It's easy.
impressed.
So hungry.
I'm so impressed that these things are just in your head.
Yeah,
and
but the
like,
things that I find easy that I do, I'm sure there are tons of things you do that I can't find. Like this whole
John.
this whole
Walking.
podcast thing is like, my kids were so impressed, and I had to ask, "What is a podcast?" My
But-
daughter's like, "What do you mean?" Like, it's just not
You
something
can't
I was.
eat it, though.
I mean, I've heard people say
can't.
podcast. I've never listened to a podcast until you sent me your link.
Yeah.
And I checked it out. So, things that you find easy, I will
Right.
never find easy. Things that your wife does, the pictures and things that I'm seeing around here, I could never do. I'm lucky I could do stick figures.
Could
so,
you do what Tom does?
Definitely not.
Oh, I was like, yeah, definitely.
I have no idea what he's
Send the
doing back
computer
there behind that
headphones on?
screen.
Definitely. So it's time for our next game.
Yes, we have another game we'll play, and then I want to get into some real deep Thanksgiving to kind of cap off our episode.
Yeah.
So
Because
let's.
this is the Thanksgiving.
It is
special.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into the next game if we can.
So we thought
This
that
is a little more put you guys on the spot,
Yeah.
a little bit. So we'll see if it's okay if it doesn't work out.
So could you give us? This is like a Chopped. I know maybe you don't watch Food Network. So could you give us like a list of 3 ingredients, and we'll each tell you a dish we'd make with those ingredients, and then you could say, what works here, what doesn't work, and what are we bullshitting?
So they're gonna give us ingredients.
Yeah, and we're gonna say, well, what we do with that.
Okay.
Is that not what we were going to do?
Yeah, I mean, but maybe you can have in mind something that you know these ingredients will make.
Sure.
You want us to give you just 3 ingredients between the two of us, or you want us each to give you 3 sets of?
I don't know, Mike. Would you be able
You
to
give
pull
them
out
3,
3
and I'll give them
ingredients?
3. Because they're going to be completely
I
different.
could give you 3 items off my shopping list, but I don't know about it.
Well, that's okay. It could be 3 random things.
He's like,
I'm a meat guy.
Fabric
I make
softener.
meatloaf, meatballs. I do smoke ribs, chicken cutlets. I'm very basic.
Yeah.
You'd say chicken franchise. Go ask my wife. I'm
Right,
not making it.
let's go.
What do we got? Just throw some ingredients. Give us 3
I'm going
ingredients.
to tell you cognac, veal medallions, and heavy cream.
Oh.
That's what you chose to give us? Cognac was one of those
Cognac.
things? All right. Cognac, veal medallions,
medallions,
heavy cream. Okay.
Heavy cream.
Cognac, veal medallions, heavy cream. Okay, so the cognac and the cream are going to become a sauce, right? So we're gonna flour the veal medallions. We're gonna pan sear them up. We're gonna hit
Right,
it.
you've said flour,
We're
which
gonna
I forget
we're gonna
exists.
drop a little butter in there. We're gonna drop the cognac. We're gonna fire up the cognac, burn off the oil, a little salt, pepper, add the cream, add a little greenery in there, get a little
green
flat
beans?
leaf parsley going in. Boom, plate it.
That's really good.
What was that? What is it called? Is that a real thing?
Basically, yeah, it is a real thing. It's
Hell
veal
yeah.
medallions with a cognac sauce.
Yeah, I'm working at
The only thing you
Gennaro's.
left out, you didn't add shallots or garlic. You need something to give it a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
little
okay,
kick it
yeah,
up a little
okay.
bit. But
All
that's
right.
really good.
All right.
That's perfect.
So let's see. Let's see. We give me one. Let's see
Okay,
what
Captain
I can do.
Crunch, skim milk, a bowl.
Minus the milk.
I would put the Captain Crunch in the bowl, take the skim milk, throw it in the garbage.
I was gonna say like eggs, bacon, and a bagel.
yeah. That I can do. No, I can't do that either.
All right, go ahead.
One time I tried to make Danielle eggs as a surprise when she woke up. They were the saltiest eggs because I
No.
put clarified butter and I put adobo and I put salt.
Yeah.
What were you making? Indian,
She
Mexican?
puts adobo in her eggs. I think it's
That's good. I
gross.
like adobo.
Put
Yeah.
a little bit, not a lot.
Not a gallon.
But it was the sweetest thing.
It was
Pause,
the gesture that counted.
Tom,
Is
do you
that
know
when you
what?
went to see Joe downstairs about the blood pressure?
Yeah. Tom, do you know what clarified butter is called? Starts with a G. I'm right on this, right? I'm right on this, right?
Yes.
What is it?
Come on, Tom, say it if you know it.
He doesn't know.
Okay, Danielle, give it to us.
Ghee.
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 God, I haven't heard that in like a
Never heard that. Ghee?
Yeah,
What'd
I
you say,
have
ghee?
it.
Hey, it's easy. It's
That's
easy.
all
Not-
I
yeah, not
use.
today.
And John hates it.
All right, give John 3
I thought a
ingredients.
gi was the thing that they give little kids at the karate school.
Yeah, that's you tie the belt. I hate clarified butter, by the way. She cooks everything with it. The smell of it is
It's nutty.
nauseating.
It's nutty.
Nope, I hate it.
I'm
You're
gonna make
nutty.
it easy. I'm gonna give you pork chops,
Okay.
stovetop stuffing, so you don't have to make it from
Oh,
scratch,
Okay.
God.
and apples.
Good.
Okay. So I would take the apples. I would make an apple sauce. I don't know how to make apple sauce, but I would blend them. Is there anything more to applesauce than that?
I don't
Yeah.
think so. Little
Yeah.
sugar?
Sugar?
Cinnamon?
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Okay, so I would get the cinnamon and the sugar, and I would make apple sauce.
Okay.
Then I would
What ingredient? What tool would you use to make the applesauce?
the stick
knife.
blender. No, that stick blender he was talking
Just
about.
whale at a whole apple with an immersion blender.
Yeah.
No.
No,
he
no.
knows.
Cook the apples first.
You have to cook the apples first?
You have to make applesauce.
I don't know that. Okay, so we'll cook the apples. Cook the apples. We're gonna make the sauce.
If you don't cook them, you're making apple juice, not applesauce.
What I'm gonna do? Okay, here. So what are the ingredients again? Pork chops,
Pork chops,
Pork chops,
stovetop
stovetop stuffing,
apples.
and apples. Okay, so what I would do here is
Look
how
at Tom. Tom's in disbelief, rubbing his face.
here is how I would make pork chops.
Yes.
Call Danielle. Cry.
I would take the apple as a snack when I go to the store and buy some Mott's applesauce. Then I will come back. I will bread the pork chops because that I know how to do. The eggs, the breading. If you're asking me to put more seasoning on it, that I can't do. Maybe I'll put it in a pan for a little while. Put some paper towel on it to get some oil off. And
While it's in the pan. you
no.
put the paper towel-
Now you have a grease fire.
And then I keep forgetting this. Oh, and the stovetop stuffing. I'll follow the box instructions.
So no, what I would do. is
Make
take
sure you
the
take it out of the
apples.
box.
Yeah, right.
I would take the apples, skin them and dice them, make the stovetop stuffing,
That's it,
mix
put it
the
in.
apples with the stuffing, cut a pocket in the pork chops, stuff them, and season them and put them in the oven and bake them.
Damn it. It's
Wow.
better. He wanted
Wow.
Well done.
And I can't take credit for that. That's my wife's recipe.
Oh, well, I can't take credit for mine. That's my mom's recipe.
Wait, go to the store to buy applesauce?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mine too. We do that.
When
I love my mom, but she will tell you that is yeah, that's how she would do it. The least we can do is batter it with the breadcrumbs. Past that, I can't answer you
That's how I
anything
like
else.
them. When I was growing up, my father was always the grill guy, right? But now that I think about it, he made some terrible stuff. No offense. He made these pork chops. I never want to eat pork chops again. They were like the thinnest pork chops you could buy. I don't know if we were on food stamps. They're not telling me something. I don't know. I had enough shoes, so I think we had money. These things were so thin. This was like tracing paper pork chops. And he cooked it for 7 hours. And then he'd eat it with the applesauce because you had to or you would choke on the pork chop. It was like a lubricant for the pork chop. Holy shit. These are the worst pork chops in my life. He's still making them to this day.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
My mom,
Pork chops.
my mom tried to make mashed potatoes once, and we couldn't get the spoon out of the pot. That's a true story. It's a true story. So, it's a big tradition in our family that 4th of July is the big family celebration. You know, a lot of the time when
We just jumped 8 months.
What?
We just jumped 8 months.
No,
We
I know,
went
I
from
know.
Thanksgiving
Oh,
right
I
to
know.
4th of
Well,
July.
I know.
Not that I'm upset. I kind of like 4th of July and the food, but
But no, I mean, whenever I refer to you guys or your side of the family to my friends, we always call you guys the 4th of Julys because that's when we see you. We have Albany's, we have Pennsylvania's, we have the 4th of Julys. So let's talk about that. Our family celebrates 4th of July to an extent that I don't think...
and not as much as we used to.
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard.
It's
So when I was
scaled
little,
back.
I don't
It's
even remember.
scaled way back.
Yeah.
There's a ton, or at least used to be, and there still is, but more apparently, of, first of all, what is it, pasta?
It used to start off with
Yeah.
linguine and white clam sauce made from fresh clams.
And the big,
That Uncle Pete used to sit there and shuck and clean the night before and strain it through the piece of cloth that used to really be the clothespin holder.
okay.
That hung on. That's what they used to strain it. But listen, it worked. We're still here.
Yeah,
And then it was the macaroni with the fresh tomato sauce for the people who didn't eat that.
right.
Then it was
That
the
was at what,
sauce.
7 a.m. that would go out? Like,
It was crazy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just started from mid morning,
Yeah.
prepping to starting at 12 o'clock eating.
Where
and then
was
just,
this, in Brooklyn?
Oh,
Yeah.
Benson Avenue.
and
sure.
we still do it. Not to that
55
extent, but
years and going.
55
No.
years. Yeah, I mean,
Same
it's still-
place.
you show up there at 11 o'clock
Awesome.
and you're eating pasta.
Yeah.
That's
No.
Oh, it's great.
We cut the pasta out. They didn't do the clam sauce. They only did regular.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know if
didn't
we
do-
did regular pasta this year, did we?
we
remember.
definitely didn't do the clam sauce.
think
I
so.
didn't have
No, they
any
don't do the
this year.
clam sauce anymore. But then it would start with the clam sauce, and it would end with baked clams on the barbecue at
Oh,
midnight.
God.
And then in between was the barbecue chicken and the sausage and everything
And
else we
this-
could find.
Still, every time you think you're full, there's all sorts of sides and everything, and then it's like there's somebody in the back just goes, "Oh, pulled pork," and you're like, "Oh, more."
That's new.
The
That-
pulled
yeah.
pork.
The pulled
That was
pork and the
that's
lamb are
recent.
like the last rendition of 4th of July.
first time I ever had pulled pork was at 4th of July.
And Pete makes a good pulled pork.
Oof, it's fantastic.
It's so good.
He makes a good
And I remember
pulled
we
pork.
used to do. I don't think you guys still do the lamb, but not the full lamb
No, we
with
went
the teeth
to
and the
we went to
eyes.
leg of lamb.
Oh, yeah?
We
Was
used
that
to have
this
this-
old school Italian
Yeah.
lamb?
Now, does
did
any of this
lamb,
scream
pig,
4th of
we've
July
done.
to you?
0.
Now we do the whole hind.
Right.
We do the double hind on that.
Right. No,
And
it
there's still
used to
none
be
left.
the eyes and the
Yeah.
teeth.
And they used to fight over the head.
That's right. They used to fight over the head.
Capuzzel.
The gabuts, not me.
No,
And the
gross.
eyes.
But
The eyes. Get out of
I
here.
don't know why.
So, working. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this in there. Working in a kitchen is we know it's very high stakes. So, speaking of steaks,
That's God.
why is knowing how to cook meat a power move? It's a power move. It is.
Why
Is
do you,
it?
Why do you think it's a power move?
I just it's like I feel like, and Danielle, I'm sorry you can't relate to this.
It's
I
a guy
feel like I'm being a man.
It's a guy thing.
You know how to make meat, you're a man. If you don't know how to cook meat, you're me.
You're picking berries.
Right, you're not cutting yourself.
It's
I
not
don't know.
hard to cook meat.
It's
I
not.
don't know. I mean,
you have to
and it,
feel it.
you're making light of it. But I've been to like people's house. I've been invited to somebody's house for one reason or another, and the wife would turn around and say to me, "Do me a favor, go get my husband off the barbecue grill, and can you cook the steaks?"
Right.
Because they come out like shoe leather. You
My
have
dad
to have
was
an
there.
understanding of, I mean, just the basic concepts of grilling, but even simple grilling, hot dogs and hamburgers. I mean,
You can do it right and you can do it wrong.
Well, you can leave it on too long, and then
Yeah, definitely do it right and wrong.
You know,
Right. Well, I will say, I can't speak, but people tell me that I'm a good grill. I'm a good grill cook.
That's good.
There you go.
I am. I used to have
So
these
you're
big
on your
barbecues.
way.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's basically most of what you're doing,
Yeah,
right?
you are a good girl. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
when I didn't eat meat for almost 10 years, but I would grill that whole time. And I was never able to, like we were saying with the fish, I never tasted anything. And people would say, oh, wow, it's so good. The steak is to perfection. Or the burgers are like...
You didn't overcook them.
I didn't even know. Right, but I couldn't taste it to tell you. I had no idea because I wasn't eating meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the reason I did that was because I had always told myself that I wanted to not eat meat, just to try it, and I did. That was it.
What was the first meat you ate again?
Chicken,
No.
grilled chicken.
Franchise.
Yeah, chicken franchise. No, grilled chicken. There's video of it.
Oh, right.
Did
And
you
then
like it?
Really,
when you
after
ate it?
10 years of not eating meat, the first thing you had was a piece
Boring
of
chicken.
He was worried.
I was terrified.
He was worried about eating meat again.
Yeah,
because he thought
it
it was
gonna
going
turn
to
my
like,
stomach.
destroy his stomach
I
and
get
then
it,
turn him
sure.
off meat. So we like slowly
Did it?
introduced him back into like eating meat.
Yeah, I had
So we
forgotten what it tasted
chicken,
like.
And then
Well, now you can have
I
Beyond
think
Meat.
the next week
Now,
he
right,
ate about
yeah.
6 sausages.
The next day? Sausage.
No,
that's
because it was
like-
right before 4th of July.
Yeah.
That was it. I started
He was in
eating a little
training.
bit here and there, and I said I want to be able to eat meat on 4th of July. And then I went and I had like 3 or 4 sausage sandwiches.
Yep.
But yeah, I had forgotten. What's weird is I had forgotten what it all tasted like. Like I did not remember what chicken tasted like, what the texture of chicken was. Eating steak for the first time was like mind blowing. It was like a whole new collection of flavors that I could not even remember at all. I had a moment in the car with her. I was eating a bacon, egg, and cheese.
What, you got tears in your eyes?
So I said to her, I literally stopped and I said, wow. She goes, what? And I was like, bacon and eggs just go so well together. And she was like, yes, it does.
Yes.
But I didn't know. I have completely forgotten.
Tom, look at Tom's face right now.
Yeah,
He's just like
We're going to the
disgust,
diner for backs.
confusion.
yeah.
So,
What? Let's talk Thanksgiving.
yep, that's it.
Here we
That's
go.
what I'm
Now
saying.
we're going to close this out. We're going to close this out. I want to talk Thanksgiving because you're a chef.
2 days of cooking and 25 minutes of eating.
That's it.
Is it? I mean, listen. People really spend a lot of time on Thanksgiving. I've never even come near cooking anything for Thanksgiving. What do you guys do, food wise?
When I cook for Thanksgiving, it's my mother's recipe for candied yams. It's stuffed mushrooms with sausage and breadcrumb. It's broccoli oreganato. It's the string bean casserole. It's grandma's stuffing recipe that my mother still makes for us. So then we stuff the turkey with it, which is beef and rice. Since I've been married, we added regular stuffing in because some people like that still, but that's always left over and grandma's stuffing is always gone. So we now make like a double batch of that. So we have leftover. What else do we make? Brussels sprouts. My wife makes a cranberry mold with celery and walnuts and stuff in it.
Wow.
What else do we make?
That's it.
No, there's more. I just can't remember it all. It's
There's a
ridiculous. Oh yeah, we make turkey.
There's a turkey.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's just a
Mike,
vessel to
for
hold
the
the
save.
stuffing. That's just a vessel to hold the stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, and that's scaled back. I mean, from what we used to do, we used to do fried broccoli, fried cauliflower, rice balls. We used to do pasta. We don't do pasta anymore. We used to make manicotti or ravioli or something like that, or lasagna. We stopped all that. Then we went to soup with tortellini for a while, and then that got cut out, and it's just too much food. And we eat like over the course of the whole day. We start at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I think dessert is like 7. So you eat a little, we'll take a break. Eat a little, take a break. And
Yeah.
it's too much food.
Yeah, I tell you, I love to eat on Thanksgiving, but I don't ever cook anything. I know that my favorite thing is to make yams, but instead of marshmallows, I would put Chobani yogurt on it instead.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is gross, so they don't let me do that. Don't worry about that.
No,
don't worry about
not a
that.
yogurt
So
thing.
I can't talk about Thanksgiving because I don't make anything.
But
But
where do you go?
I go to my uncle's house where I'm going to tag in Dr. Joe.
Dr. Joe! Dr. Joe, you look great.
Who makes the Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, Joe.
Nice.
Perfect.
Dr. Joe
I'm
can
back.
join us. You
I'm
missed
back.
the conversation about the Garduna. I'm going to make it for Christmas. Or I'm gonna try.
Good.
So what do we do for Thanksgiving? What's our typical menu?
Sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes. No mashed potatoes. That's a big misconception at the house.
Yes, because Uncle Ant's mashed potatoes are famous.
It's often that you get very upset about the no mashed potatoes.
It's a lot of milk.
That's good though.
That's great.
Regular. I think the big side that's different is the fried artichokes.
Yes, we do
It's
fried
always,
artichokes.
That's the only day we do it, and we do mushroom soup to start the night.
Oh, that's good. And then it wrecks me for 3 days. The mushroom soup. But no, that's the best. I love
Put
that.
the gas X right in the soup. Why is this mushroom soup pink? Shut up.
Instead of like a lemon sorbet, like an intermezzo, we just have gas X in between.
When do we do? We don't do the fried cauliflower for Thanksgiving. That's Christmas, right?
Fried cauliflower is Christmas Eve. Yeah,
It's Christmas Eve. We could. Yeah, that's a whole.
only
nother-
one fried food per holiday.
Right. So,
As a doctor, do you have any? Is there any medical tips we should know about for Thanksgiving?
No, all bets are off for Thanksgiving. All bets are off for the holidays.
Here's a medical question: tryptophan, real? Make me tired or bogus?
Tryptophan exists, but I don't think it's gonna make you tired.
Okay, just eating all the
For your
carbs is
listeners
gonna
out
make
there,
you
don't
tired.
worry about it.
Right. Is that
It's
why?
the 40 pounds of food you eat that makes
Is that why everybody's so
every year,
tired?
John would lay on the couch after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and,
wow! It's a big tradition.
and would fall asleep, but he would also fall asleep before the meal too.
Oh, so what does that mean?
He's resting, saving up his energy.
Exactly.
And John's a narcoleptic.
That is my tradition. I always get up right after dinner at Thanksgiving and go and sleep on the couch for like an hour.
That's what you do.
And I still do that since Danielle's been around. When she didn't know everybody as well, it was really awkward for her.
You just left her?
Yeah.
Oh, God, what a guy.
Do we watch the parade on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the
Joey's
parade.
leaving. Bye,
Joe,
Joe.
you're leaving?
Bye, Dr. Joe.
Thank you, Dr. Joe.
He's like, I was in the middle of a movie.
Dr. Joe, did you deliver any babies today? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
No babies.
No. Any babies born in the world today?
Many babies.
But not by your hand. God bless.
All right. Do we
God
watch
bless.
the parade?
My wife does.
I watch it
March of the
every
Wooden
year.
Soldiers.
March of the Wooden Soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
sure.
gotta
sure.
watch March of the Wooden
course.
Soldiers.
Twilight Zone Marathon is Thanksgiving time?
Oh, I don't know. New Year's.
No, it's New Year's.
March of the Wooden Soldiers is the one with
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy, Babes in Toyland.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the parade.
I'm watching that parade when I was in high school.
Did you?
It?
Yeah.
The
Bring us
parade is
back.
the best.
Bring us
Bring us
back.
back.
To that
I was in the band.
Oh.
I was in a high school band.
What did you play?
Trumpet.
Nice.
Okay.
Can't.
What,
Can't
Can't
play
even
it
read
anymore?
music right now.
what songs what were we playing in the
They were. I was just marches like. I couldn't. You know what? I can't even remember.
John and I are good at doing trumpet impressions.
Oh God! Don't make me do this.
I think we should do it. We should play a little march.
No, you do it. This is not impressive.
It's like a
Yeah,
march.
but-
So is that
Yeah,
okay? I
there's-
want to bring you back, Mike.
There was.
All right, close your eyes, Mike. I'll give you the background. Here we go. Ready?
I might
You
go to
walk
sleep
in.
if I close my eyes.
You walk in.
Marching.
It's a little
No,
cold out.
we're marching with our black and gold uniforms with
The
we
hat
look-
with the thing on top
with
of
the
it.
plume. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
You look foolish.
You look like you're in the
Yes,
music
I
band.
did.
But I didn't march in it.
Well,
Bad enough you're in the
that was one
marching
of those
band.
things.
You got to
When
dress
I
like
was
a
in high school,
moron.
I marched I think in that parade twice. St. Patrick's Day parade,
That's
Columbus
awesome.
Day parade.
They can't take that
stuff
from
like
you. You
that.
can always say that you marched on Thanksgiving.
See,
Day
but now
parade.
see, this is the first time I've thought about it in like 30 years.
That's
So,
what we-
gee, thanks for bringing that back.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
we live to do.
But more importantly, Miracle on 34th Street, the original,
Yeah.
black and white, and at the end of it, when Santa, does his thing, then it's officially time for Christmas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I love that Santa. You see him; he's doing the thing. It's the only Santa that remembers to rub the side of his nose like he does in the story. However, you're early. Dinner hasn't even happened yet. You're impeding. I love Santa, but come on, we gotta give Thanksgiving its due. So let's end this on a great delicious note. Now you're a chef. You make desserts too, I'm assuming.
Yep.
What is everybody's favorite pie? You got to have a pie on
What are you
Thanksgiving.
talking about during Thanksgiving or overall?
No, let's broaden it up. I think overall.
Broaden it. Let's go overall. Because I'm a big pie guy.
I like pie better than
All right,
cake.
you
Yeah.
know, you should come to my in-laws, my mother-in-law's house,
Yeah,
because we average one pie per person, and sometimes more.
that's what I like to see.
And there's only last year I think it was 6 of us. We had 8 pies.
Wow.
You put your hands behind your back and shove your faces in them.
No, it's
Right in the face.
my wife loves to bake pies. My mother-in-law loves to bake pies. They're both very good making. My mother-in-law make coconut custard. She might make pumpkin. Then my wife makes apple, and her mother will make an apple. And then what's the other one? Oh, the chocolate pudding pie.
Okay.
There's got to be 2. One to bring to my in-laws and one to stay at the house. So there's hate this
Boy.
so
I'm
much.
simple. I'm like an apple crumb with oat on top of it.
Yeah? See, the
simple
oat,
like that.
though, you're getting fancy. That's
No,
that's
it's
a-
just
that's a
mix
chef.
oatmeal in the crumb when you make it.
I don't know
It's-
what's in the crumb. I eat it, and I go,
There you go.
So-
I'm simple. I'm an apple pie guy.
yeah.
Thanksgiving it's pumpkin pie, but overall favorite is definitely apple.
See, I'm a fruit pie guy. I'm a blueberry for sure.
Okay.
A cherry. Oh, I could eat a whole cherry
My
pie
wife's a cherry. I'm
without
a blueberry,
question.
definitely.
But I mean, Thanksgiving, you gotta. I'm not a coconut custard guy.
No, I like
Don't
that.
think so. It looks delicious, but then you eat it and
Even like a nice key lime pie. Is
Oh, I love a
nice.
key
I
lime.
don't like key lime.
See, I love a good key lime. It's a little sour. It's one of those
I
things.
feel like I
you
need a
eat it-
glass of vodka with it.
Yeah, you eat it though, and you're like, To me, it's one of those things you eat it, and maybe you'll understand this. You go, this tastes bad, but I like it, and I'm gonna keep eating it, but it tastes bad. That's. I don't know why I have one of those.
So you don't
I
like
just
it, but
think
you
it
like
tastes bad.
Yeah, he just thinks it tastes bad. What about you, Frank?
I was gonna get apple. It's boring, but I like them all. But just a nice apple. The apple's not too mushy.
Strudel or a pie?
Pie.
A
Yeah,
pie,
gotta
but like
be a
but an
pie.
apple like a crumble is nice too. With
Keep
the
in
top
mind,
where you
you're in
take
the
it out.
USA.
You take it out with a spoon
Okay.
instead of you can't cut it. You gotta like scoop it out.
Right.
Come on, give me that right now.
Or you
Tom.
can put it on pizza.
That's what you do.
Wow,
That's what I
yeah.
I mean, apple pie, but Entenmann's used to make. Oh, they still do those apple squares.
Oh yeah.
Those are good.
With
can't
like
show
the,
up to
with
Thanksgiving
like
with
the,
those
the
apple
white
frosting.
frosting on the edges with the crimped edges.
With that paper that's like the
Yeah, yeah.
crinkliest paper ever.
That's right.
You can't show up though to Thanksgiving with that.
No, but I'm just apple pie.
That was the most spiteful
He
answer.
He hates it here. He works the hardest and he hates it.
What about you?
Banana.
Okay,
Good.
Danielle. She doesn't like pie. Spoilers, I cut her off. She doesn't like damn pie.
Don't like pie.
How did I marry her? Why did I marry her? I bought little pie trays that you could make your own pie. She's like, I don't
almost
even
said
like
something
pie.
really bad.
You don't like
I'll
pie?
leave that
Yeah,
alone.
well,
What are you, an animal? What do you like?
I just don't like.
she doesn't like cake either.
No, I hate.
You like
cake.
ice cream?
Yes.
Donuts?
No.
What kind of pie do you like, Danielle?
Pastry?
Yeah, pastry. That's
Shepherd's.
I'll.
Shepherd.
I mean, I'll eat. I actually hate shepherd's pie.
Because it's pie.
American pie.
No.
American wedding. No, go on.
Terrible.
Key lime pie is really good.
Oh, that's the one no one really cares about.
key lime. That's why it's in your head.
No, I like maybe like a berry thing. Like
Berry
a
thing
like
pie.
a berry like tart thing.
Oh, what
Like
about a
pie.
nice?
That's not really a pie, though. It's
I
a
know,
tart.
but like
Oh, they're so dry when you buy them.
No.
Oh, gosh.
What about a nice coconut cream pie?
I just said that.
great.
In my
coconut custard's
No, that's
good.
different.
No, coconut cream and coconut
custard-
custard are different.
Coconut cream. It's
Oh no,
different.
I like a banana cream pie. That's come on, that's so good.
I'll
Oh,
die.
banana cream pie.
Oh, you can't eat
I just
bananas.
want it
No.
pushed in my face whenever I see a banana cream pie. I just want to be hit with it as hard as I can.
Cookies? You like cookies?
Yes.
This has devolved.
Tom is so skeptical. He's like, you like cookies?
Tom's like,
you
I,
know,
I don't know if I
seven-layer
can sit next to you anymore.
Yeah.
So go to Staten Island and go to Alfonso's Pastry and get a 7-layer donut.
Really?
What?
So it's a Italian 7-layer cookie, and then enrobed in
dying.
chocolate, the size of a donut.
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
It's like 3-4 inches high.
It'll cost you
Yeah.
$16.
I would
to
eat
get on your
that.
fridge.
Yeah, I'm
Like that
sure-
would be an
there you
awesome
go.
cake for me.
I had one of those. I had a 7-layer cookie deep fried at the 18th Avenue Feast this year.
We did that this summer. We started deep frying. We deep fried a Uncrustable
Oh,
Oh my gosh, the peanut
Love
butter and jelly
it,
sandwiches.
in funnel cake batter.
how was it?
How was it?
It was ridiculous.
That sounds so good. The peanut butter
It's like
got
a peanut
melty?
butter and jelly donut.
Nice. I'm
Yeah.
gonna deep fry ham tomorrow.
Do you know I didn't eat dinner tonight? I mean, this morning I didn't eat my breakfast, and I'm
This morning on this Tuesday
on this
morning?
Tuesday morning, and I'm so hungry, and it's not 9 o'clock at night. It's
Yeah,
not
I know,
right now.
I know. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for doing this.
This is great.
This has
Thank
been
you.
real fun.
This has
And
been
for
a lot of
dressing
fun.
like pilgrims, which we didn't
Yeah,
even
which is, we
acknowledge.
didn't even. Yeah, I mean,
didn't
Where'd
even
you get
address.
those buckles?
yeah. And I'm sorry that I wore the feathers. I know it's culturally
It's
insensitive.
definitely, you should not have worn that.
Well, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving.
A very happy Thanksgiving. We want to thank you guys for coming through. We really appreciate it, and
And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for you, John.
I'm thankful for you, Frank.
right.
Danielle, you know,
All right, and Tom,
like a pie.
thanks. Yeah.
You guys thankful for
Happy
anything?
Thanksgiving.
Had a great time, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's
Tell
do
your
this.
friends.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Let's sign off with all of us making turkey noises.
No, you make a turkey noise. Very good. Very good. He's good.
You've been listening to the Nothing Podcast with Nobody Important, a cool side production, hosted by John Panepinto and Frank Caiati, with contributors Matt Hunt, Joe Hagopian, and me, Danielle Rose Fisher, and engineered by Tom Zaccheo. Find us online at nothing-podcast.com, and be sure to rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are distributed.